Maybe you've heard of biracial marriages or interfaith marriages or so many other types of marriages of people who came from different backgrounds. Our marriage does not only fit into the intercultural couples category, but we are also from two different countries that were at war with each other. So before we tell you more about how we managed the tension in our marriage, we would like you to click the subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our future episodes. It really means a lot to us. And thank you for sharing our content on social media.
We believe that when family is healthy, the nation is healthy. Welcome to Mike and Christelle podcast, where family meets faith and fun. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where we post highlights and relationship thoughts regularly.
As some of you know already, we are from Congo and Rwanda. So I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo. My wife is from Rwanda. I moved to Rwanda at a time where there was a political conflict, military conflict between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. Unfortunately, when governments make decisions, it affects the people, it affects the community. There was tension between Congolese people and Rwandans at that time. When I moved to Rwanda, I was shocked by the warm welcome of Rwandans. I was accepted, I was welcomed, I was even promoted. I was given a platform in Rwanda that not even many Rwandan people have. So when I met my wife, my family did not even ask me questions about her ethnicity or our differences in ethnic groups. That was not the question from my sisters and brothers. They asked me questions about her personality, her faith, her education, and stuff like that. It was all individualistic, all personal. Like, this is how is she? What's her faith? Is she a Christian? Is she? They were interested in the person as a person, not which community she belongs to. But there were some friends who were very direct about my choice, who were really concerned about me marrying someone who is from a different country, a different ethnic group. So some people called me and asked me if I was sure I really wanted to marry a Rwandan Tutsi girl. And when you say Tutsi from the tribe where I'm coming from, there is a kind of tension between the tribe, Bembe, where I'm coming from, and the Tutsi. There is a tension between the communities. So people called me they were really honest with me and asked, are you comfortable? Do you know what you are about to put yourself into? They asked if I was aware of all the things that have happened between my community and her community. And people were really honestly worried. They were worried about the decision I was just about to make. First, our countries were at war. There was a conflict. Secondly, there was a history of stuff that have happened between the two people, the two groups. And people were concerned. So people were asking me if I was ready to lose my identity or things like that. Or it was just people were concerned about my choice. But at the end of the day, that's not what informed my decision.
For me, on the other hand, marriage wasn't something we were talking deeply in our home. When I was growing up, it wasn't something we were discussing. Something was maybe something so deep to the point where we weren't talking about it. But some of my friends, when I met my husband, and some of my friends were very worried. I should say not friends.
No,
Maybe
they were your friends. They were concerned.
People around me were, they were really
concerned.
Concerned about me. They were asking me if I was okay, if there was if something was wrong, because they were telling me, someone told me clearly, someone told me, are you sure
Yes.
there is no other Rwandan boy here that you see?
Yeah.
Or is there something wrong with you?
Yeah.
I was like, no, nothing's wrong with me. I am really doing fine. I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
Because I knew that they were genuinely worried because of what the those different.
First, our countries were at war, and secondly, people have their genuine their concerns. And they would ask if are you sure you want to marry a Congolese boy? And there are prejudices also. There are prejudices.
Yeah.
Like if you speak to someone from Congo, they will tell you all these things they believe about Tutsis,
exactly.
all the things they believe about Rwandans.
If you speak to
Rwandans, they will also have prejudices about the things they believe about Congo and Congo men and what they do, what they don't do. They will tell you, and Congo men and people from Congo will tell you what they believe about Tutsis and women from Rwanda. So there is all these stories around.
And actually, someone told me, "Are you really okay in your mind? Is your mind working properly?" I was shocked. I was like, my mind's working really well. Other people around me tried to discourage me, to tell me that was not a good idea. I was gonna regret my choice. I was gonna be sad. I was gonna be unhappy. So many concerns that people raised around me. But
we did not ignore those differences.
No, we did not.
We considered what everybody was saying, and we really looked at them. We were not just saying, "Oh no, we can't. That's not true." We really considered it, but we
because
knew
some of the things that the people were saying are really true. There's
certain things that you can say. True. Oh yeah, this concern makes sense. This one makes sense.
Yes.
But we knew that there was a military conflict between Congo and Rwanda. We knew that it will be complicated. For example, at that time, my mother was in Kinshasa, in the capital city. So we knew that it would be almost impossible for her to come to our wedding. Why? Because the border, there was no communication between Kinshasa and Kigali. At that time, there was no flight, there was nothing. So it was bad. It was really bad. So we knew what we were doing. We were aware of the extent of the situation or the big issue that we were putting ourselves into. But we knew that marriage is between individuals. Mm-hmm. You don't marry a country, even though you can be committed to the country, but you are not going to live in the house with a country. You live with a person. So we knew that this relationship is between the two of us.
Yes.
And we are going to live together, the two of us.
Yeah.
It's not like Congo and Rwanda getting married. It's Mike and Christelle.
Marrying someone from your own tribe or ethnic group does not guarantee a happiness in life.
Yeah.
There are some cultures and family where they encourage their children to get married to the same ethnic group, but that does not always guarantee successful marriages.
Yes, I know many people who married their own people. Like you get married to the person of your own race, your own tribe, or your own ethnic group.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you don't marry a tribe, you marry a person. Mm-hmm. We were aware of our differences.
Yes.
But we knew that our love for each other trumped our differences.
Yeah.
We know that our love for each other came before our cultural differences. Mm-hmm. So we focused on the person who my wife is and the person I am, and not necessarily where I'm coming from and the culture.
Yeah.
So this is how we found our cultural compatibility.
Yeah.
We looked at, for example, our traditions and the way we do things. For example, in my culture, traditionally, my brother became automatically like a father to my children. And we have even a language in Swahili, we say bam dogo or bam kubwa, which means little brother or big brother, big father or little father. So what that means in my culture, my sister has almost the same authority over my children as I have. So like as I do. So that means my children have expectations the same way my sister has expectations toward my children. It's quite a strong culture in that sense. Like my brother can make decisions on my children, in the same way I can make decisions over my children, over my brother's children, depending on who is the older. So the older brother has more authority over the children of the younger brother. And the same thing with the sisters. So my sisters have authority over my children as their aunties, but they're not. We don't call them aunties or uncles. We call them big mama or
Big mama.
or little mama or something like that. It's hard to
Put it
translate
in English.
that word in English, but you just understand the concept. Traditionally, my brothers and sisters have expectations and obligations towards my children, and the same for me toward their children.
Yeah.
But
for us, my brothers and sisters are the uncles and aunties of my children.
Yes.
They are not necessarily, they don't have the same necessarily expectation
No.
or obligation
No.
as I am. I am the mom.
You are the mom
I am
and
the
the
mom.
uncles and aunties.
And we have uncles and aunties who
They can help.
it's
they
not
can,
that, it's not that deep. It's not that of, it's not, how can I say it? Not deep, but it's not that.
So the difference is even my brother can make decisions on my children's choices, while in my wife's culture, they can give opinions, but
they don't make decisions.
They don't have the power to make decisions.
Yeah.
So when we came together, we needed to talk about that. How much power are we going to give to our siblings? How are we going to grow our children? A Rwandan way or a Congo way? How much space do we need as parents? How much are we going to allow my siblings to intervene or not to intervene? So it was necessary for us to understand that. The same the same with our languages, the languages that we speak. For example, we both speak Swahili, French, English, and other languages, like Kinyarwanda, Kibembe, and other, like maybe 7 in total. We can navigate seven languages each. But that is one thing. That is not really a big deal because I lived in Rwanda, so I can kind of understand some of my wife's language. That's not a big deal. The problem comes when we have to decide which language to teach to our children. Which, or you may say, I just teach them all of them. That was a conversation we had. Like, how are we going to navigate this? How are we going to help our children? Which language we would love them to know? Any language or all of them or more we want them to know. But when it comes to language, we had that conversation. Which language are we going to speak in our home?
We needed to figure out how to manage these differences.
Yeah.
The first thing we did was to agree on what we liked in both cultures. So, Congolese culture and the Rwandan culture. What did we like?
There are definitely beautiful stuff in the Rwandan culture.
Yes.
I love mushanana, like the thing that they wear. I love quite a lot of stuff in the Rwandan culture, and the same that there's beautiful things in our culture that we respect the elderly, we respect the family, big brother, and all that. There are things that we feel like they are really good. So we spoke about it. We're not going to give all the details here because it's just a long list of things. But we came up with things that we like in the Congolese culture and the things we don't like.
Yeah.
We came up with what we like in the Rwandan culture and the things we don't like. And we decided we are not going to invite the things we don't like in our home. The second thing is we decided to adopt a Matumaini culture, which was the combination of both cultures. So the things that we liked from both sides became our culture. We started to implement those things, to repeat them, to teach our children, to live them, and to make sure we install those traits of culture in our home. It became our culture.
Yeah. And the third thing, we decided to still respect each other's culture.
Yes. So when we decided to reject a few things from my culture or things from my wife's culture, it doesn't mean we criticize and begin.
No, it just means that we're not going to do that.
No, we still respect what they what the way they do it.
If we go to a certain house and they're doing that, we're not going to say, "Oh my God, what's that?"
Yes. We respect.
That's what they've decided to do.
Yes.
But we decided not to do things that way.
Remember, we are not saying our culture is the best.
No.
Or we are not even saying our family culture is the best. We're just saying the thing that my wife and I found to be suitable to us as the people.
Yeah.
We decided as individuals, we decided to use them. So we did not want to be kind of slaves of traditions. We didn't want to impose each other's culture. We know families where the wife will impose the kind of food to the husband, or not impose, but kind of push your culture in the family or to your children, or the language. We don't think that is good. We think it's good to talk about it. It's good to discuss it and find a common ground. Find a way that you will bring your two cultures together. It's more productive when you act like that than trying to push your culture because you are so comfortable in your culture. Yes. And on top of that, we also lived in 5 countries. We lived in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Australia, we lived in Congo. So we've lived so many places that we've also learned other things.
There's so many other beautiful things we've learned from Tanzania, we've learned from Uganda, and those things we've also added to the list of the things that we like to do in our family.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have become international.
It's such a
flexible
beautiful thing to see how other people do things.
Well, what matters is not our root. It's not where we came from. We respect where we came from, and we want our children to know where we came from. But our marriage matters more. That's union, that coming together. And we put our marriage before our traditions.
If you're considering an intercultural relationship, or you are already in it, value the person more than the community they are coming from. The person. The person you are getting married to, it matters. Like it's the most important thing than the tribe or the. I mean, make an effort to see to understand why they do certain things. Make an effort to listen and see. But that shouldn't be the motive.
That should not drive you. We don't encourage people to start a relationship based on ethnicity. Or I found a girl of my tribe. Or I don't feel comfortable in that. I feel like I don't think it's. I don't think it's good. For us, I think finding a person you love, a person who is suitable to you first, is important than she's from my country. So what? I don't know. That's our opinion. Then we think it's important to look at the individual than where they're coming from. Another advice we have for you is to
talk about the differences and see if the person is willing to compromise. If tradition comes before the individual, then you may need to reconsider your choice.
And we are serious about that. Some people are very much committed to their traditions. If you feel or you see that the person is too much into their traditions, maybe you need to reconsider your choice. Maybe you need to leave them. Maybe it's time to leave them. Or reconsider your choice. If they are not going to compromise in certain areas to make it work, you may be dealing with the wrong person.
And the third advice we're giving you is some people are serious about their tradition and there is nothing you can do about it. Respect their tradition. And walk away. So if they are willing to compromise, it's a beautiful thing to blend cultures, but if they're not, it's not going to work in the long run.
So culture is just like we discuss about religion. We discuss about that. I think culture is the same. There must be respect for each other's culture, and if there is no compromise, then just walk away. But if you are struggling and you're already committed in a relationship, you are already married, and you are now struggling because of the differences in your cultures, The problem is none of you may be willing to compromise, and you should both compromise. It shouldn't be just one side compromising.
Yeah.
Both sides should compromise.
Exactly.
Really compromise,
Yeah.
and create a culture of your home. There are some traditions that say the woman should compromise and become and marry or adopt the culture of the husband. We don't see that way. I don't support that personally. I think
too.
both of you should compromise.
Both of you should compromise.
Both of you should come together because it's about your marriage. That's our opinion.
Yeah.
Each tradition is different, but we believe that will make the marriage work. So that's how we came together. We really don't think about Congo and Rwanda as two countries fighting for us. We see the beauty in our love.
Yeah.
We see that beauty in our children, and that's what we celebrate. And we see that for our children, it's great that they can go to Congo and feel home. They can go to Rwanda and feel home, and they can be in Australia and feel home. And we are raising our children as people, as international people. Not necessarily that they will forget their roots. No, they know their root. They know their origin. It's good to know your origin, but at the same time, don't put limits on yourself that you can only do this because you are from this community. So that's our opinion on culture.
We hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Did you know that every time you share one of our contents online, one potential family gets healthier? Follow Mike and Christelle on Facebook and Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe right now. It really means a lot to us.
See you next time, guys.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.